If you've watched the show Above the Bar in the past, you know that we discuss primarily legal topics, common legal and not so common legal, things like bankruptcy and divorce and prenuptials. But for today's episode, we wanted to bring you something really special. A few years ago, we had an opportunity to meet with one of boxing's great, Smokin' Joe Frazier. Now, unfortunately, Joe left us in 2011, but we have this wonderful interview where he discusses some of his iconic photographs with our own Castle Chalice, who was the host. So let's take a look, sit back and enjoy our meeting with Smokin' Joe Frazier. I'm Bob Ward, and this is Above the Bar.
Start off with a multimedia piece that was put together with a photo shoot that we did. Rick Gershon put this together for Getty Images. And then we're going to turn it over to Castle, Mr. Joe Frazier, and Al. And they're going to talk about some of these photos or whatever Joe wants to talk about. And I got to say, not only is this guy a tremendous legend, but I had the distinct pleasure of spending some minutes with him in the VIP room prior to this thing getting kicked off. And Joe could not have been nicer and more engaging. We talked boxing, we talked other things, and he gave my son a lot of good life advice. So, thank you, Mr. Joe Frazier. It's a pleasure to have you here. All right, kick off the multimedia, turn it over to these guys.
Thank you very much. Hello there, everybody. How are you? Not bad. Look, we're going to have a whole lot of fun tonight.
Angry, just like... Yeah, my name is Al Bello, and I'm a sports photographer at Getty Images. Do a lot of event coverage, and I occasionally do portrait work with athletes and some feature work with involving sports. I went down to Philadelphia to photograph Joe Frazier. I had a chance to do a portrait shoot with him. We went to his gym.
My name is Smokin' Joe Frazier, sharp as a razor. Well, there's been so much moments, so therefore, I don't even know where you're gonna start from. Number one was when Mom gave birth to me. That was my greatest moment.
Joe Frazier was Olympic gold medalist in 1964. Joe Frazier went on to be the first guy to ever soundly defeat Muhammad Ali and take the heavyweight championship.
The butterfly. Muhammad, God bless him. I hope that he's doing well. Like myself, I got a walking cane. We had some good moments. We had three of the greatest fights in history. There's no doubt about that,
And let's get one serious one. Yes, Joe Frazier. When I set up the backgrounds and set up my lights for photographing Joe, I had two different backgrounds set up, and I was going to do one setup in the ring. So basically, three things I wanted to accomplish. And go. Good. Keep going, little. Good. The first one was on a white background. I lit the studio area very harshly because A, because he was a boxer, and B, he was a very dominant, strong athlete in his day.
Look at that body.
Man. Oh, 2 tickets to the gun show, Joe Frazier. The second background I did was more with continuous light, and I wanted to show his face and let everything else fade off into the background. Then when we got him in the ring, it was a no-brainer because he had all the paraphernalia on the wall and the ring in the foreground. So once you have that, you just put Joe in center stage, and I kind of spotlit him as like he was the star of his gym, which is what he is. That's it. That's it. Good. When Joe started throwing his left hooks in the ring, it was a great feeling for me because, you know, I'm living my dream, my moment of going, here it is. I'm finally getting a chance to photograph this guy in action, you know, and watching him throw those left hooks was, in a way, putting myself in the living room with my father when I was like 6 years old, watching him fight Muhammad Ali in the Thrilla Manila. In some strange way, it was like I'm at peace with myself now because I had a chance to do something that I've always wanted to do.
That's it.
That's it. It's a wrap.
And now the time is near. The time is here. Check my hopes and prepare. I say they take the dare. Not in a shy way. Well, that's their right. But come to fight, I'll fight them my way.
Here we go. Everyone, if we could direct your attention to the various flat screens throughout the room. And Joe, you can see right there's a picture of you and longtime trainer Eddie Futch. That was in about 1967 or so, would you say?
I would say yes, but Eddie been with me from the beginning. Let's say from maybe day one. I started off, Eddie was always there because Eddie was the lookout man for the good, bad, and the ugly guys. You know, that makes sure we had the right opponent.
Well, wasn't it Yank that actually began with you early in the career before Eddie came on?
Yank Durham was the first guy, yeah.
Of course.
Yank passed on. Both of the guys are gone now. But Yank was the guy that started me off, and like between Yank and myself and a guy named Duke Dugin was over the gym. I used to come to the gym so late in the afternoon that they gave me a key to the gym so I could train by myself. So music was my timekeeper. Let's say some of you guys remember the 45. It played like maybe 6 minutes, 7 minutes, you know. So they were my timekeeper to make sure that I work out every day in the gymnasium. I wasn't there, nobody else to keep my time but the 45s. So therefore, I learned and got the music together, and I love it. So I stayed in shape that way.
Very good. The next shot we got here is you with full attire on, the Everlast headgear. This was training for the just the big fight with Ali in '71.
I would say number one, Everlast been there a long time. My beginning of my life, you know, when I first got in this ring and started using the equipment was always Everlast, and then the equipment really was great. And like, you know, I got me a good discount.
Yeah, I bet you did. A lifelong discount, I'm sure.
Yes, I did.
Here's an interesting shot. This is you training, I believe, that's in Philadelphia, if I'm not mistaken, with your dog Prince. Do I got that right?
You wouldn't know where around with that.
Yeah, I may not have been around, but I read the book.
Yeah, how about that? The dog was mine. I think that was in Commission Lake.
Is that right?
Yeah, I think it was up in Concord Hotel. That when the dog was there. Maybe I didn't let him stay very long because he was a bad guy. And I didn't think nobody would want to deal with him. They'd rather fight me than Prince. So I just kept on that side.
Well, here's an iconic photo, one that George Kalinsky set up. This is down in your gym getting ready for the fight of the century.
Another good guy, George Kalinsky. Let's say, I think that was the first fight when the loudmouth come around. He just wanted like to be seen, heard, and everything. So we got one part of the gym. I think I was in the gym, he was out of the gym. I wouldn't want to let him in because I'm afraid he might trip and fall. I don't want nothing to happen to him.
All right, good. Here's a picture of you working the speed bag, also down in your gym in Philadelphia. Why don't you tell the fans out here what the speed bag does for training purposes?
I would say number one, the speed bag is the timekeeper. And I can hit the left hand just as good as I hit with my right hand. But I didn't fire my right hand because I had a missile in the left hand. That was a show thing. I know that if I roll it, I'll be able to take it apart.
All right, good stuff. And here's a picture. I don't even know where to begin with this one, Joe. Those are some fancy duds you got on right there. That was out in the Leicester ballroom out in London.
Oh man,
Remember that modeling shoot, Joe?
that was a little showpiece there, man. You know what I mean? But there were niggas.
I'm just wondering what's up.
I think I said it right?
I'm just wondering with those high heels you had on there. I don't know. Were you able to do your road work in those shoes?
Oh man, I don't know what I got on there now. They don't look like they belong to mama, none of them, so, or my sisters, but they were niggas. And Knickers. Okay. Well, I'm glad I ain't said another word. You know, I got it all. Knickers.
That'll work. Here's an interesting shot. This is you throwing a nice reaching right uppercut to Jerry Quarry of 1974. You TKO'd him right here at Madison Square Garden in the 5th round, but this was only 5 years after a previous TKO of Quarry in the 7th on cuts, which, by the way, earned you and Joe and Jerry a 1969 Ring Magazine Fight of the Year. What do you remember about that fight?
Well, Jerry was a good guy, no doubt about that. But then, like sometimes when you drag your family in, like the sporting world or any kind of business, you don't quite get it the way it should be, you know what I mean? Dad was always there, and I think it was a brother-in-law or somebody, and they didn't let Jerry work through the kind of work he really need for the fight. But God bless him, he was a good guy.
Tough Irish kid, if I'm not mistaken. Was it his father, Joe, that had the words hard luck tattooed on his hands? Did you hear that one?
What?
I think he had the words hard luck tattooed. It was just something I think I read in your book about the tough background that Jerry Quarry came from, and he looks like he put up a decent fight when he was in there with you.
I think Dad was a tough guy, you understand, but there's sometimes when you bring your family in a sporting world like boxing, everybody's heart start bleeding for you. You know what I mean? But therefore, like Dad and Mom, you don't want them in the fight game with you because they're going to feel something that you probably never felt, you know what I mean? So it kept him away for a while. But he was a good guy.
Stuff, and here's the iconic image right there. You and Ali. Ali's going down. This is the...
Oh, he's falling.
Joe, this was the 15th round. Ali knew he needed a knockout to win this fight. He knew he was down on points. He comes into this round, throws a couple of 1-2 combinations. You throw a left hand to his forearm, a feeler, to try and figure out where he's going, and then the lunging left hook, the one that stopped time.
I want to tell you guys something. You say everybody here. I think he was afraid of me. I really do think that he was afraid of me. Joe Frazier, I'm the greatest. I'm the greatest. I'm gonna whip you. I said, take it easy, man. I thought you were gonna have a heart attack before the fight. I said, ease up, man. Take it easy. We got a couple more days in the fight. So the main thing about it, he just was a tough guy. You know what I mean? But it could have been better. I think he's a swell guy. Put him through all those other guys that he went through over the years, but he never stopped to give them things. Because if these guys had backed out, I don't think that he would ever get a license. I helped him. I went to the president at the White House and tell him, give him a license. Well, Joe, you think you can beat him? I said, Mr. President, I got it in my back pocket. Don't worry about it. Give him a license. I'm gonna dust him off. So really, that's the way it was. Because he was a great guy, let's say, publicity-wise. But when it comes to me, he seemed like he was nervous. Look, man, don't get nervous. The fight got a couple weeks away. Take it easy. He called me and then, Joe Frazier, I'm pretty, okay, pretty. We're going to see what happened at bell ring, okay? We're going to see how pretty you going to be. So the thing about that, when he was there, he talks in circle. But, God bless him now.
Well, Joe, the story I believe it was the 4th round when he says to you, while you guys were boxing, he says, don't you know I'm God? You remember what you responded? The 4th round, Muhammad Ali says to Joe, don't you know I'm God? Tell him what you said to that, Joe.
He said, Joe Frazier, what's your name, God? I said, well, God, you're in the wrong place tonight. I'm taking name and kicking butts. God bless him, man.
All right, Joe, this is an interesting shot. This is also done with George Kalinsky. Remember the background of this story with the water beating down off your face?
Oh, yeah, well, let's see. George's a great guy. And like, look at that bead over there. This guy must have been, the day he was born, he probably shooting that camera to be that good. Look at that thing, he beating about out of the picture, you know what I mean?
Well, I don't want to embarrass you.
A great
Joe.
guy.
I don't want to embarrass you, but there's a little more to the backstory that George was kind enough to share with me. And apparently this came on the heels of Playgirl magazine wanting to do a centerfold with you. Do you remember that? Apparently Playgirl wanted to do a centerfold, and you weren't too keen on the idea of appearing naked in a magazine. However, you did want to know what you looked like naked.
I ain't got no recollection.
So George was kind enough to go into the shower with you and take that somewhat candid shot.
That was like more a private thing, you know what I mean? Me and George look at it, not the public, you know what I mean? Don't have no trouble.
But we can move on to the next photo from that. And this is a classic shot. What makes this shot so beautiful, everyone take a look, see if you can identify who's that referee standing between the two boxes. I'll give you a hint. It's an idol of Joe Frazier's. That's right, June 17th, 1974.
Yeah, Joe Louis. Well, when I punched a couple shots and he went down, and then like Joe Louis got to say, yo, come on back, Joe, come on back. I said, the man hurt. Come on, take him out of there, don't worry. So really, he had no feeling because he had been there.
This is another iconic George Kalinsky photo. This is actually the last time that Joe Louis ever stepped foot in a boxing ring while you were punching the stuffing out of Jerry Quarry. Right there. It's a classic shot.
He was a great guy, there's no doubt about that. I met him several times in Caesars in Vegas, and all he had to do was walk around and try to get to spend more money.
I'm sure
that was a bad job. He got paid for it.
And here's a good shot of Ali going down again. This is a lot of boxing royalty in attendance tonight, as you heard earlier. Frank Sinatra ringside taking photographs. Great Willie Pep, Joe Louis, Gene Tunney,
everybody
Ray
was
Robinson. Yeah, this was a moment in time that will forever be cemented in sports fans and non-sports fans alike's memory.
He didn't. I don't really think that he had a lot of punches, but the shots that I've been hitting him with, man, I've seen buildings come down.
I was gonna say.
I mean, I've been knocking side of buildings down with the stuff I throw on him, and I can't figure out what he come on. I went back to the corner. I said, Yank. I said, what's wrong with this man? I said, I'm hitting him with everything I got you. He said, all right, listen to that shit. So goddamn it, so go right back where you left off from. He'll fall after a while. And he was right, because, you know, his body is not as tough as a body like George and I. You got like Larry, Norton, and Muhammad. Those guys are the middleweights when they start out. George and I was full-flush heavyweight from the beginning. So we can take a heavy sledgehammer than they can, because they have a bigger body.
And in Yank's famous words, you know, take the body and the head will die, right?
Come right on now.
Good stuff. Here's a good shot, nose to nose. This is one of the first times that boxers began doing this sort of pose, the nose to nose showdown. And there you are with Muhammad, trying to psych each other out, perhaps.
Both of us look like we had got a little in us.
Now, why don't you tell us all what's that, Jeff?
You know what that is?
No, why don't you tell us?
That's white.
I got it.
He's light bright, almost white. My grandmother on that other side, so they ain't too much different. You know, just look at the ear. You know what I mean?
It's all shades anyway, Joe.
Yeah, well, no problem.
There's a good one right there.
Oh my goodness.
And was that a sincere kiss you were trying to
I don't know.
I said, was that a sincere kiss you were trying to plant on his cheek there, or is that just a promotional piece?
No, I was just trying to whisper in his ear.
What were you trying to whisper? Do you remember?
I just asked him, you want this thing to happen to you again?
And I could see from the look on his face that's exactly what you asked him.
You better clean your act up. I don't want you back in your butt again.
And this one I definitely want to hand over to Al, because this is Al's picture right here, and Al, I know, has a few words to say about how he set this up. I'm going to pass the mic to Al.
Well, Joe, I mean, as I followed you through your career, I always just noticed you always had your game face on, and I'd always wanted, if I ever had the chance to photograph you, that I would want you to put your game face on. And we were laughing and having a good time during the shoot, and all of a sudden, I just said,
I don't recognize that guy, Al.
That's you. And I just said, Joe, put on your game face. And
Look, one of my sisters.
you're getting ready to fight. You can still do it, I think.
I try to stay in shape the best way I can.
Yeah.
And I think that all our guys over maybe 225 or what like that, we need to get in the gym, stay in the gym, keep the body fit, because number one, the heart not going to take that smother and that fat. Trust me. And in order to live the number that the good man above promises, 3 scores and 10, I think that's about 75? 75. So that's if you want to get that, I'm over that already.
No, you're not. Are you?
I'm 65, man.
65.
Right. I'm right around the corner.
65. Well, I think that was the last photo. And Joe, thanks for sitting down with us. Really appreciate it.
Let's hear it for Castle, Al, and Mr. Joe Frazier, the
Smoking Joe.
Smoking Joe, the heavyweight champion of the world.